Welcome to Embodied and Beloved, Faith, Healing, and the God who meets us in the body. I'm Shannon, a manual osteopathic therapist, and every day I sit with women who are carrying more than pain in their bodies. Often there's stress, grief, exhaustion, and questions about healing that don't have easy answers. When I say embodied, I mean this, that our faith is not something we live out only in our thoughts or beliefs, but in our nervous system, our breath, our posture, and the stories that our bodies are holding. Our bodies are not separate from our spiritual lives. They are a place where so much of it unfolds. And this podcast is for women who are learning to listen to their bodies with compassion, who are discovering that healing is a process rather than a finish line, and who are coming to trust that God meets us not only in prayer or reflection, but right here within the lived experience of the body. You are embodied, you are beloved, and you are not alone. Hey friends, and welcome back. Have you ever had someone tell you to just relax, and instead of helping, it almost made you feel more tense? Like suddenly you were aware of how not relaxed you are? What if the problem isn't that you don't know how to relax, but that your body doesn't actually feel safe enough to relax? I think a lot of us have quietly believed this idea that I'm just bad at resting, or I'm too anxious, or I need to try harder to calm down. But what if that is not true? What if your body is actually responding exactly the way it was designed to? We all have a nervous system that is constantly asking one question: Am I safe? And depending on the answer, your body shifts into different states: fight or flight, freeze, or rest and restore. And here's the key: you don't consciously choose those states, your body does. So when someone says, just relax, what they are really asking you to do is jump into a state that your body may not currently have access to. Because relaxation isn't a command, it's a state. And you cannot think your way into it if your body believes there is a threat. Even if that threat isn't a physical one, it can be stress, overwhelm, pressure, or emotional tension. And that is why you can be lying in bed, completely exhausted, but wide awake, or sitting still and your mind is racing, or trying to rest, but your body just feels wired. You're not failing at relaxing. Your nervous system is protecting you. And here's the honest truth: you cannot override your nervous system with willpower. So, what actually helps? If just relax doesn't work, what does? Not everything and not all at once. So, let's keep this simple. First thing is, we are going to start with the body, not the mind. Instead of trying to think your way into calm, you begin by giving your body signals of safety, small ones, practical ones, like taking a slow breath in and an even slower breath out, unclenching your jaw, dropping your shoulders, going for a gentle walk. You're not forcing relaxation, you're inviting your body toward it. The second thing is to reduce input before you expect rest. This one might challenge you a bit. If your mind is constantly taking in noise, content, notifications, conversations, then asking your body to suddenly relax is completely unrealistic. There's no transition, no margin. Sometimes what we actually need is not more techniques, but less input. The third thing we can do is shift more to a consistency over intensity mindset. This one is important. Your nervous system doesn't learn safety from one big moment. It learns through repetition, through small, consistent experiences that say, you are okay, you are safe. A few minutes a day goes further than one long attempt once a week. The fourth thing we can do is give ourselves permission to slow down. This one runs deeper than most people expect. Sometimes we don't relax, not because we can't, but because something in us doesn't feel allowed to. So maybe slowing down feels unproductive, lazy, or uncomfortable. Or maybe it brings up things you'd rather not feel. But part of the process is actually giving yourself permission to not be on all of the time. And here is something that often gets missed. Your nervous system doesn't just regulate in isolation, it regulates in connection. Safe, steady relationships can actually help your body to learn what safety feels like. So think about it. Have you ever felt more at ease just sitting with someone who is calm, grounded, and present? They're not fixing anything, they're not rushing you, but something in your body starts to settle. That is not random. That is your nervous system responding to co-regulation. And this is why community matters. Not just being around people, but being around people who feel safe, non-judging, unhurried. And this might be a stretch for some of you. But if the only time you are around others is when things are loud, busy, or demanding, you may never actually experience that kind of settling. We need spaces and relationships where our bodies can exhale. And this connects so deeply with our faith because scripture doesn't just command rest, it invites us into it. Be still and know that I am God is not pressure, it's an invitation. Even Jesus regularly withdrew to quiet places, not because he was weak, but because he understood the need for stillness. And I think sometimes we approach God with the same mindset we have toward relaxing. We try to force quiet, force stillness, force connection. But what if being with God is less about forcing yourself to be calm and more about learning to feel safe in his presence? So let's take a moment together. Wherever you are, just gently notice your body. Unclench your jaw, let your shoulders drop, and take a slow breath in. And then a longer breath out. Again, a slow breath in and a longer breath out. You don't have to fix anything right now. You don't have to figure everything out. Just let your body be here. You are not failing at rest. You are learning what safety feels like, and you don't have to rush the process. So may you begin to notice the signals your body has been trying to send you. May you grow in patience with yourself in the process. May you release the pressure to just relax, and instead, may you gently learn what safety feels like one moment at a time. May you find spaces and people where your body can exhale. And may you experience the quiet reassurance that you don't have to hold everything together on your own. May you come to know more deeply that you are held, beloved, and safe in the presence of God. If something in this episode resonated with you, I'd encourage you to sit with it for a few moments and then share it with someone who might need to hear it too. We will continue this conversation in our next episode as we explore how relationships and community play a deeper role in helping us feel safe, grounded, and loved.